Hi, this is Emily Swallow, and you're listening to Star Wars Reactions. This is the way to podcast.
There's been an awakening. Have you felt it?
In 1977, George Lucas formed a legacy.
The Force is with me, and I am with the Force.
Inspired by mythology, his saga has become a passion for many.
Feel the Force around you.
His legend has become our story.
It's true. All of it.
One of resistance,
We are a spark that'll light the fire that'll burn the First Order down.
rebellion,
Rebellion is built on hope.
and redemption.
I am a Jedi, like my father before.
This is Star Wars Reactions.
Remember, the Force will be with you. Always.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to Star Wars Reactions. Welcome to another exciting episode as we continue journeying through the Star Wars saga. This is going to be a great episode. Let's get some introductions out of the way. My name is Aaron Harrison. Joining me is my friend, my co-host, the Mando to my Grogu, and there is that big of a height difference, the David Motters. David, brother, what's up?
Well, I think we're up. We are up and we are batting. It's October, baseball playoffs. Shout out to Tom Gross for the Cubs and the Tigers, still alive. But yeah, here to react, ready to react. That's for Greg McLaughlin. And yeah, looking forward to covering what we're covering. It's a year later, but it's pertinent. It's something to be covered because the sequel is out to this particular show. So it's a good time to do it. But looking forward to recording with you, buddy. And yeah, ready to react.
Absolutely. And David kind of hinted around at what we're doing tonight. We are sitting down and looking at the 4 parts of the Lego Star Wars Rebuild the Galaxy series. This is the first parts that were released last year in 2024. Specifically, they were released September 13th, 2024. So about almost 13 months ago.
Yeah.
It came out, and we wanted to. At least we hadn't had a chance because of everything that's happened in the last 13 months to get to this particular series. But now the sequel is out, Rebuild the Galaxy, Pieces of the Past. And we want to talk about that because there was some great stuff in there too. And there's some great stuff in this too. So we wanted to sit down and at least share our reactions to the original Rebuild the Galaxy before we hit, the sequel. Makes sense. So, with that being said, David, you ready to jump into it?
I'm ready, buddy.
All right. This is it. Don't get scared now. Here we go. So, Rebuild the Galaxy Lego Star Wars series. Like I said, September 13th, 2024. This is one of those animated series that kind of falls outside of canon. I love the fact that they do go through and they do all this work with canon between the movies and the TV shows and stuff. But then they have these side quests with these Lego Star Wars where they can sit there and almost literally make fun of what they're doing. And they did it they do it with all the Lego Star Wars. Phineas and Ferb did it right after Disney took over too, with their little side show. Star Wars themed episode. But what's great about this particular series, the Rebuild the Galaxy series, is this is essentially what Marvel would have called a what if series. So what if everything just got shook up and everything changed? And that's what made this series so much fun. So and no cell phone. I am not talking to Siri, so stop lighting up and trying to talk to me. Apparently Siris and Siri sound alike. So, anywho, Caravast, So let's go ahead and tee this up and go into our initial reactions to the Rebuild the Galaxy series, especially this first one with the first four parts. What were your thoughts, David? Talk to me about, or rather, tell me what you thought about this.
Well, I think you did tee it up really nice that it's outside of canon and they can just have a lot of fun. And you and I've covered a lot of Star Wars, and fans can get really focused on canon. And you and I talk about it, what's in canon, what's out of canon, and novels and all that kind of stuff, and TV shows and what fits and what doesn't fit. But this is just fun because there's no pressure. You just watch it, you enjoy it. I think, I was just telling you before we hit the record button that I'd watched this last year, but like you mentioned at the top of the show, there's just so much other stuff going on weather-wise and your home and just everything that I don't know that I really took it in. So watching it a second time and look, when you watch these things a second and third time, you pick up on a lot of little fun things, and that's really cool too. Watch it several times. You'll be, oh, I missed that first time. I missed it the second time. Oh, I caught it the third time. And so going back and prepping for this, it was just fun to watch these four episodes again. It's really fun. It's quick. A lot of Easter eggs. And really, I was thinking about it, it's not just Easter eggs, but like homages too. A lot of homages to everything from the, uh, you know, uh, TV shows on Disney Plus, right, to the movies, all of them, all the prequels, original, and sequels.
Mhm.
They've got it in there, and so there's another point I was going to make too that this idea of what would happen if the galaxy was taken apart and put back together. It's just you want to talk about a wonderful avenue to show kids this and say, hey, you don't have to make the X-wing exactly the way it is. You don't have to make the TIE fighter exactly the way it is on the box. Create different things, right? Have Ewok bounty hunters and create cool Y-wings with their stuff. And I think that's a wonderful thing too, is just the creativity that I enjoy watching, but I hope that when kids watch this, it really sparks their imagination and creativity, So those are just a few of my initial reactions.
Very good, very good. Yeah, like I said, with for me, with these are going to be my initial reactions now. The like I said earlier, this what's so and you hit the nail on the head, David, is the fact that they can sit down, it's out of canon, they can have so much fun, uh, is really what makes this so enjoyable. We have so many pieces of the saga coming in from all different worlds. It's getting thrown in. It literally is like a kid playing in their room,
Mm-hmm.
and they got all these Lego sets from all different parts of the saga. So what do? They throw it all together. You have Jar Jar running around with Luke Skywalker. You have uh you have Greedo and Leia running around. You have Rey being a Padawan to I mean, you got Jedi Bob. I mean, these are all pieces and things that came straight out of Star Wars past. And I love the fact that they are able to do that. And that's what makes this series so much fun is it takes everything and just shakes it up. And I'm very glad that we got to see it. So the way we're doing it, of course, this series has four parts. Okay, part one, part two, part three, part four, and we could jump into and we could jump into this and go in. I mean, each part's about 20 to 23 minutes. So
Yeah.
it's a good chunk of time. Um, and it's a year old. So we didn't want to, spend a lot of time breaking in and breaking down because a lot of people have already done that. But David came up with the idea, and I absolutely love how he did it. Is breaking in and going part by part and discussing what we liked from the particular episode instead of breaking down and digging in. Because we were talking beforehand, with all the Easter eggs and stuff crammed into each little episode, we could spend an hour just discussing Easter eggs
That's right.
and not touch the story, not touch the plot, because there is so much crammed into these episodes. I mean, it's literally served up like a Dave Filoni special because everybody knows how much stuff Dave likes to cram into a 30-minute episode. Uh,
That's
so
right. That's
they
right.
they obviously learned from the master. So we're going to break this down. We'll go start with part one, and we'll go back and forth and discuss our favorite things about each particular episode, and go from there. So let's start with part one. Of course, this is the first part where we are introduced to all the characters in play in this series, and we have some new players that some we see, of course, a lot of old characters from Star Wars that are all mixed in, but then we get our new characters that are coming out of the series. They're coming out specifically for this series. We have, of course, Sig Griebling, his brother Dev Griebling. We have Yessi Scala. Then, of course, we have eventually we meet Jedi Bob, um, and then, of course, we have a whole bunch of other characters that come in through. Oh, and Servo. We have his droid Servo, which
That's
is
right.
a gonk droid,
That's right.
which was a lot of fun as well. So, and we have a lot of fun things that they go on adventure. They're nerf herders. Then, of course, things he pulls a brick out of a wall in a Jedi temple, and the whole world goes chaos. Um, and of course, everything gets rebuilt. Dev becomes Darth Dev, and the, and then Jedi Bob comes in, and it's then an adventure to get the world put back the way it was before. So, David, pass off to you for the first part here. What did you like about the first part, and what were some of the things that really called out to you in that episode?
Yeah, no, I do like Sig, voiced by Gaten Matarazzo, right from Stranger Things fame. Just starting off with all those cool stories, from the Star Wars universe. I always enjoy that by a Lego fire. That was really cute. And but I really do, this is one part where for me, instead of like an homage or a an Easter egg, I do really like how they set up the story of the galaxy being rebuilt because of this cornerstone piece being removed from that Jedi temple on Vanessa. And
Mhm.
I thought that was a lot of fun and how they just set the stage for the next three parts. But also, there's a really big theme in this whole first part of Sig refusing the call to adventure. In fact, it's his brother Dev who's the one encouraging it, and even Yessi Scala's wanting to do it too. But that's Star Wars at its core. That's Joseph Campbell at its core.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah,
And it definitely you definitely hit a lot of the points I like because it's a great introduction to the characters that we have with Yessi and Dev, and of course Sig. And Sig is that reluctant hero that we're used to seeing in these stories. And I'm glad you set that up because we see him go from somebody who is just like content with his everyday life to being the one that has to get up and take action for everything going on. So
that's right.
very, very good, very good. And of course, there are a lot of Easter eggs throughout this particular part as well. We see a lot of things going on. We see some X-wings fly by early in the episode. We get their Sig and Dev are nerf herders.
Yes,
They weren't that scruffy looking, but they were nerf herders.
that's
Uh,
right.
then then of course once the changes occur to the galaxy because the stone has been removed, the
Yeah,
cornerstone has been removed, everything goes crazy. And we have, of course, Dev then at that point is the Sith Lord who conquered the galaxy and is running everything. And of course, he has his army of clone troopers, which are basically an army of Akbar troopers, because all the clones are of Admiral Akbar. And there's that great scene where they all take off their helmets and they're all going, "It's a trap! It's a trap! It's a trap! It's a trap! It's a trap!"
Oh gosh.
It is great, and there are other things in there that are fun. I think there's even a brief mention of, hey, the Force is awakening.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
what were some of the Easter eggs that jumped out for you, David?
Well, yeah. I mean, some deep cuts. Like you said, that's when Dev says, "Sig, the Force is awakening." I'm like, "Oh, I see what you did there," like you
Mhm.
said. And but one in particular, I don't know if you noticed it, but there was I'm trying to remember if this picture came out on social media when they were making either The Force Awakens or The Last Jedi, but I think it's you see Mark Hamill like getting a piggyback ride from Daisy Ridley,
Yes.
right? I don't know if it's outside Pinewood Studios or somewhere there in England, at all the big, L Street, all those studios. But at the very beginning, when Sig is kind of telling the Star Wars stories, all the adventures, you see a really quick clip of the Ray Lego and Luke Lego. He's doing a piggyback ride.
Hmm.
And I thought, oh, that was quick. And I don't know if people picked up on that, but I just, you and I go through all that stuff in the social media. And so I immediately noticed. I thought that was a pretty deep cut. Now, I think a lot of kids might not recognize what that
Hmm.
was, but that's one that I thought was like, oh, that's pretty cool, how they did that. How about you? Any Easter eggs that you liked in particular?
Well, I mean, we of course went into a few of them with the mention of the Force Awakens nod. I thought that was great. I think for me the most fun I had was the fact that they were Nerf herders.
Yes.
And I thought that was just absolutely, and I'm sorry, I don't know if you could hear the airplane flying over my house right now,
Oh
but
my gosh.
my walls are shaking.
Oh, oh my
I,
gosh.
I have no clue why it's flying that low. We're just a couple miles from the airport here in Lakeland. So
Right.
Amazon flies over all the time, but never like that, because there's Amazon hub here. But anyway, off topic. But they of course make a lot of different little nods to, like you mentioned. I think there was a mention of Thrawn in this one, and of course the nerfs
Yes.
thing, the Force Awakens. It was it's a lot of fun things there. But between the Akbar clones and the and the nerf herder, I was happy. It was a lot of fun. I was cracking up there, especially when the all star went, "It's a trap, it's a trap, it's a trap."
Yeah. It's really cool. And it is interesting that um I think Jedi Bob says it that because they were inside the temple,
They were.
Sig, Jedi Bob, and what's the Gong droid?
Oh,
Why am I blocking on
oh
his
God,
name?
Servo.
Servo. I like Servo. They don't change.
No.
So that I thought that was a neat little piece of the story that was pretty
Hmm.
cool. And I do like that there is that Jedi temple on Vanessa, and kind of that adventure is right around the corner, and when you
Hmm.
least suspect it. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff there. It's a good first start, establishes the whole story, and yeah, a lot of good stuff. And then there's probably stuff you and I aren't even picking up on that people are screaming at their phones right now. Or what about this Easter egg and this one and this one? And of course, if I go back and watch it, I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't even see
Hmm.
that.
Well, yeah, I mean, and that's what's one thing that's great about these episodes is, like I said, they're so caked full of these nods and Easter eggs that you're never going to catch them all uh to in one
Hmm.
episode.
Hmm.
So it's one of those things that you really multiple viewings will help you catch more. But honestly, I don't know if there's probably stuff just so
Oh,
secluded in there, unless you are watching, st- unless you created it, you probably won't catch it all.
right, right.
So, which I mean, that's just awesome. Which is a nod truly to the writers and the directors, which, I didn't mention them at the beginning of the episode. All these episodes were written and directed by the same people. Chris Buckley was the director, and of course the writers were Dan Hernandez and Benji Samitz,
Yeah.
for all four parts of this season. Um, so that's really a credit to them with the knowledge that they had, to squeeze all these little pieces in. So,
Yeah.
well, let's go ahead and move on to part two. Part two uh, was a fun continuation, and all these episodes kind of flow into each other, which is great too, and tell a continuous story. This episode, of course, Dev is, of course, now the Sith Lord, as we said. Sig is trying to get away from Finessa, the planet, which is a new planet to Star Wars. We have Finessa. Help comes from Jedi Bob, a Force builder who knows the Cornerstone secrets. They end up escaping, and it's just a wacky adventure there. Um, literally. So let's jump into your thoughts, David, on part two.
Well, yeah, like you said, it continues the whole story. You quickly see that Darth Dev is basically in Vader's castle, which is, I guess,
Mhm.
on Finessa now, I think, right? Because his Imperial troops are there. At the end of the lava flowing, there's, immediate reference to that. And of course, Rogue One, and seeing Vader's castle there. And of course, I think of Charles Soule's um, brilliant Vader run that he did.
Mhm.
Um, so there's that. Um, I really like, again, the real core Star Wars elements underneath. Like Sig starts his training in that ship, right?
Mhm.
Just like Luke starts his training with Obi-Wan on the Falcon. I thought that's really cool. Um, I'm going back through. I told you I'm really trying to get caught up with Pod of Rebellion, because we just saw the actors and actresses
Mhm.
from Star Wars Rebels here at
Yes.
Ocala Comic Con, and they were all promoting it, and I knew you were watching it or listening to it. Forgive me, and I've been meaning to get into it, but I've really jumped into it, and it was actually kind of fortuitous because I was just watching the episode. I think it's Rise of the Old Masters, where Ezra is starting to do his Jedi training. He's doing a handstand on top of the Ghost, way up in the clouds of Lothal. Just beautiful, beautiful
Mhm.
imagery, and you see Kanan and his struggle, with not feeling he's good enough to train Ezra, and he's like, Luminara and Dooley will do such a better job. And here, I was kind of flipping back and forth this weekend between Rebels episodes and watching all four of these, and bam, immediately you see Jedi Bob reluctant to train Sig. Just like Kanan is reluctant to train Ezra, and I thought that was really cool. Just kind of fortuitous. Um, I don't know. I could keep going on. I was going to stop and let you throw some in, and we can keep going back and forth.
No, I like what you're saying, because that's a great comparison, especially to Rebels, which I love. And it was definitely a great comparison. Um, it, I thought it was great. One of the things I liked, is how, especially we see it more in this episode, and it develops in the next couple, in the remaining two episodes, is we see how the universe has changed because of what Sig did, removing the cornerstone. You know, those who were good are now bad, and vice versa. Um, of course, Darth Dev, right at the beginning of this episode, we are introduced to his Padawan, his Padawan, who is, Ray, Darth Ray.
Yeah. Yeah.
Of course, we see Darth Ray in Rise of Skywalker.
Right.
So we're getting those pieces pulled together, and that was a fun thing to see, because we get to see her in action and everything, chasing down. She wants to prove herself. She really wants to take apart the our heroes in this, but
Yeah.
it's really fun to see. Then of course we get they call out bounty hunters to chase them down after they escape. And of course we get we get Ewok bounty hunters.
It's epic.
Ewok bounty hunter and C3PO.
Yes. Yes.
Evil C3PO.
Right.
Evil C3PO. The evil C3PO we see again in Rise of Skywalker. With the red eyes and the whole stuff. And all that's fun, all of it's great. And it ultimately, leads to the what we see, and this was a Lego set they actually released, was the dark Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
The Dark Falcon is what they called it. It's just basically an all black Millennium Falcon, and we find out that the radar dish on top is actually a Death Star cannon, which was pretty wicked. And as it lands, we get a glimpse of a whole, because they're in an alternate galaxy, the rule of two does not apply. So we have a whole army of Sith that come out.
Mm-hmm.
Darth Kit Fisto, Darth Nubs, which, if you don't know who Nubs is from oh my gosh, I just blanked on it. The kids show on Disney.
Young Jedi Adventures.
Young Jedi Adventures, yes. Darth Nub. We have, of course, Darth Ray is there. I'm help me out. I'm missing a
Darth.
few.
Yeah. Darth Tico.
Yes, Dark Rose Tico.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Darth Rose Tico. That one, that to me was a stretch. I don't think Rose Tico ever had a dark bone in her body there.
No.
So that was a fun one. But not as fun as the last one, as he comes walking down the thing and knights his red saber, and you hear, Misa gonna hurt you.
Now, that is not an homage or an Easter egg to any of these Star Wars TV shows on Disney Plus. None of the movies, none of the comics, none of the novels. But here's the creators giving a nod to that famous rumor that was out there on the interwebs, right, buddy?
Yep, that's right. That was a nod to the rumors that the real Sith Lord was actually Jar Jar Binks, pulling the strings behind the scenes, not really Palpatine. And I thought that, that was one of those rumors that you always hear and you're always like, get a good laugh off of, and then you're like, oh, yeah, right.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden, boom, there it is. You see it in this show. It's great.
Yeah.
And when it's all said and done, by the time all four parts were over, I'm like, I could dig me some Darth Jar Jar.
Yeah.
I could see some more Darth Jar Jar. Bring it on.
Yeah.
Bring it on.
Well, and Ahmed Best had a fun time with it. And, I was just thinking about Daz Davies over in the UK. And I was thinking about his son. And, we've got a text thread with him and Mary and Greg McLaughlin. And we saw a picture, and I was not teasing, but I pointed out to Daz, I'm like, wait, I see a Nubs in that picture with your son. And I'm like, that's some good parenting right there. That's some good stuff. And so I was just thinking about this, Aaron. I was wondering if, like, Daz watches that with his son, and his son's like, wait a minute, Dad, what's wrong with Nubs? What's wrong with those? Why's he got red eyes? Why is he mean? Um, I was thinking about that. For them to have Nubs be a Sith is I'm like, well, man, that some of the younger kids might not like that. Be like, I'm mad, I don't want Nubs to be mean. And so, anyways, I just had to mention Daz and his son as well. So
Oh yeah, absolutely. It definitely, coming from a Disney Junior Kids show, it kind of, you're exactly right. Kind of makes you make things that make you go, huh.
I could I could see Daz having to explain that. Dad, why is Nubs mean now? And you're like, oh my gosh, how do I explain
He
this?
didn't get his coffee.
Oh, there you go. Nubs didn't get his coffee in the
Nubs
morning.
didn't get his coffee. Someone
Good,
took his Butterfinger, or better yet, he's hungry. Somebody get the kid a Snicker.
yeah.
Oh,
Good save, Aaron. There you
there
go,
we go.
Daz. You're
There you go.
welcome.
There you go. All you kids out there, young kids, there you go. There you got your explanations.
There you
You're good to go. Just, next thing you know, you'll walk in their room, your kid's gonna be trying to jam a Snicker down their stuffed animal's throat.
go.
Be good. Be good. Anywho, Carabast.
A good Carabas there.
Oh, sweet Lord. Oh, perfect. But fantastic. Anything else from part two you want to touch
Just
on before?
one little deep cut, and it's an Easter egg. When they are at the cantina, right?
You mean Mos Eisley Marina Cantina?
Thank you. Behind the bar, I mean, at first you do see Wooler, whatever his
Hmm.
name is. I can see the guy, but then right when they're about ready to leave, you see an IG 88, IG 11 droid, an IG droid behind the bar. And if people don't remember that, in the original Star Wars, you see that behind there when
Yep.
Luke and Obi-Wan are there with Han and Chewie meeting them. Well, then of course in 1980, we see an IG
Yep.
droid and you're like, wait a minute, that head was, I guess they just kept that stuff, brought it back to England, right, and said, "Oh, let's
Hmm.
put this on top of a droid,"
Hmm.
But it was almost like the stuff would come down from through the head, and serve the spirits that are served there at the Mos Eisley Cantina, Mos Eisley Marina Cantina. But I thought that was a pretty deep cut, right there.
Hmm.
Um, you probably caught that one, seeing that?
I did.
Um,
I did. I did. And there was one more cut I wanted to mention too, because we this is the episode where we do meet Luke Skywalker,
right?
and he is not Jedi Knight. He
No,
is not Jedi Master. He's Master Pod Racer, and he is a quintessential beach bum pod racing guy.
yeah,
Hawaiian shirt, sandals, shorts, whole kit caboodle, messy hair, and which was fun to see, which is a different Luke, fun to see. But then we also, the way the pod racing and stuff was great. Tatooine has water on it. That's planet's all jacked up because of the Cornerstone. But what really got me, and what I thought was fun, and whether it was a deep cut or not, I don't know whether even they meant it. But when they were pod racing, they ended up pod racing over water at one point, and the only thing I was thinking of were the races in Resistance.
Oh, nice,
So
nice. They are, yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So
nice.
when they were racing over the water for a little bit, I thought that was great. But and it kind of reminded me of that. So yeah, there we go.
All right. Now, well, not only in this part, but in the next two and three and four, do you notice what's around Luke's neck?
Yes, the necklace that Padme
Yeah,
had when she was buried that
yeah,
Anakin gave her
yeah,
that he
Japor.
had carved.
Yeah,
So
I think it's a
yes,
Japor snippet, Japor, if I'm saying it right. Um, Japor, I don't, whatever that substance is.
yeah.
But yeah, so another little Easter egg. I mean, it's pretty much out there and right there around his neck, but. Again, I'm not sure if kids would get that, but us adults do.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Definitely something that we get.
Yes.
So, all right. So moving on to part three. Part three, of course, things take a things take a turn in this episode while trying to set things right in the galaxy. Sig makes some unexpected allies. He goes out to try to find help, ends up deciding that the Jedi can help him, but they need the Jedi. Like if there's all these Sith in this galaxy, and definitely more, there's got to be more Jedi. So they go and they find the Jedi Council, who is living in a um, uh, sand
Well,
crawler
yeah.
on
With
with
at
at
walk
with at,
legs.
exactly with
Yeah.
at Walker legs, and it's not fully functional. You see it kind of stutter stepping as it goes. Kind of reminded me of the Lost Commanders and Rebels when they go to find
Nice.
Rex, Wolf, and
Oh gosh, why are you doing this to me? I know he's the one who loves his Marvel. Yes,
Gregor.
yes.
I kept wanting to say George, and I knew that wasn't right. Gregor. Um, but they end up going to meet the Jedi Council, of which the Jedi Council includes, of course, Yoda, and it includes the character we meet in uh, Rise of Skywalker,
Yep.
Jedi Janna, in this. Then, of course, we get a whole bunch of interesting Jedi. Uh, Jedi Jabba the Hutt, Jedi. Um, we get Jedi Palpatine and Jedi Vader.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and of course, we get you see Count Dooku as you scan through. You don't hear from him in this episode, but you see him. Jedi Dooku
That's right.
is in there, and it's interesting because they don't really want to help.
Yeah. I know.
They take the Jedi reluctancy to the extreme at this case,
Yes.
um, and don't want to help at all. But and it is Vader who helps them,
Yeah.
who convinces them that they need to help. Um, and things go a little on the haywire side for them there as well. Because things don't go the way they want it to.
Yeah.
So, so tell me, David, talk to me about part three.
Yeah. You do see Sig like literally on a seeing stone, like Grogu. He's
Yep.
sitting there in the middle of all them and trying to visualize stuff. I thought, when he does go into that trance, it's very much a Stranger Things. I thought when it's immediately all white and you see him, I think of L from Stranger Things going into the
Yes.
upside down and being in there. And it's really quick. Um, and then of course, then he goes into the Dagobah cave. And so very much a callback to that. There's a lot of Easter eggs and homages and references in this one. Do you want me to run through a few or?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Set it
Okay.
up because we get there. There's a ton in this one, and there are a lot
Yeah.
of great ones too.
Yeah.
Because
Go.
it sets
Yeah.
up the finale with the story in this, heading into finding the new
Yeah.
Jedi, the new Jedi builder temple that
That's
they
right.
need to replace the cornerstone.
Right. And he literally sees it. That's kind
Hmm.
of like the Dagobah cave, and he can see down in there. Like you were mentioning that, here's Vader wanting them to help. It really is the opposite, with all the Sith being Jedi Masters now. But in this case, you talk about a real twist. You hear Han say, Greedo shot his shot first, and
Hmm.
he, won Leia over. When they're landing on getting down to Dagobah past the blockade, you hear Han, say it. I've had softer landings on Star Tours, and that just really took me back to a number of different endings, right? When you
Mhm.
ride Star Tours, and we'll do a little. Uh, well, I'll stay off of that. So, but no, Star Tours, I love that. Like you mentioned, it does set up where there is a prison, small little prison, Lego prison, right, on
Yep.
this planet, and they've got the Andor orange and white prison outfits.
Mm.
Terry King would be proud. He had a great Andor prison outfit when we went on the Galactic Star Cruiser,
Nice.
so that was really fun. And maybe the other one that I saw was, just really kind of that homage. Again, in each one of these, I'm pointing out stuff at the core of Star Wars is Dev trying to get Sig to join him,
Mhm.
a la The Empire Strikes Back. So,
Mhm.
so there's a few of the ones that, there's a lot, but those are a few that I was stood out to me. How about you?
Well, some of the ones that, and those are great ones. Some of the ones that I enjoyed in this particular episode was where, of course, when they first meet the council, they go in and there's the little
Mm.
nod where all you hear about in the movies was, Anakin's not, yeah, I allow you to sit on the council, but I don't allow you the rank of master. He's not making him a master. All he wants is to be a master. And then we have him sit. You have Jedi Vader sitting on the council, and Palpatine says, or Jedi Vader's making his argument to help, and Palpatine's like, "I never should have elevated you from Padawan."
Oh my gosh, that's a good one. That's
And
a
he,
good one.
and of course, he just runs off and pouts at that point, kind of like
Oh,
Anakin would have done. Um, which was great. Then of course you have Luke when he first sees Jedi Vader, and he's like, "Huh, he looks familiar." Then of course when Leia arrives, she walks up to Luke and she's like, "Huh, you look familiar."
yeah, yeah.
And then it gets really interesting because they uh, when they're trying to get everything together at the end of toward the end of this episode, they're like, where's Vader, Leia, and Luke? And they're like, oh yeah, I may have accidentally told them some news about relations. He told them that they were all related, which plays out in the in the next episode too. It's actually quite humorous. But one character that we failed to mention earlier in the episode, in the I think it was the last episode or maybe the episode before, was Maul.
Oh, you're right, right.
Maul is Lando. It is like this the solo a Star Wars story Lando in the yellow with the cape, all that. It's it's Maldo.
and
Maldo.
S- and Sam Witwer voicing it.
Sam Witwer voicing it. And it is just a lot of fun things happening in this episode. We see, of course, we find out there's they hint at a spy being in there. Oh yeah, there's the comment about uh, Han and Leia aren't together in this. Leia is with Greedo,
Right, right.
and Han is jealous, and he's like when or not Dev, when Sig's like, aren't you supposed to be with Leia? And she goes, oh, I wanted to, but Greedo shot his shot first.
Right. That's right.
Greedo
That-
doesn't shoot first.
no, I
Han shot
know.
first.
That's right.
Which
That's
was
right.
which it's just little things like that which make this so much more fun. You just sit there and it's like the Leonardo DiCaprio meme where he's got his hand out going, hey, his finger pointing at it. Um, but yeah, a lot there. That's my thing with that particular episode. Um, so a lot of fun there, a lot of fun.
Nice.
All right, let's wrap things up with part four. Of course, this is where it all comes to head. This is the finale of the first, I guess you call it the first season. of Rebuild the Galaxy. This, of course, the fate of the galaxy on the line. Sig and his friends battle Darth Dev, aka Darth Devastator, one last time to bring justice to the galaxy. So this is where everything comes out. This is where it all comes to head. We find out that things aren't exactly what he expected. There is, and we kind of find this out as the whole mission has been to put the cornerstone back where it belongs, to restore the galaxy. And of course, he finds out at the end of the last episode that's not the case. He can never restore his galaxy. And of course, he runs off and joins Dev because he just doesn't know what to do at this point, and things go crazy. So,
Mm.
a lot of great things, a lot of exciting things happen in this episode. So let's discuss it. What are your thoughts on the conclusion of Rebuild the Galaxy?
Oh man, this is a lot of fun, a ton of action. Um, I think something that really stood out to me, and of course we mentioned the Dark Falcon, and seeing Yessi Scala fly in really with the same kind of sun, kind of like a star or a sun shining behind it, and she comes in and helps save the day. Because they're in a bad way, right?
Mm-hmm.
All the rebels are getting destroyed by Darth Dev's ship, which, with powered by the Cornerstone, can shoot out, Death Star power blasts and all that kind of stuff. So I thought that was really cool. Again, a big homage to, Episode 4, A New Hope. Um, I, these guys hit on everything. These writers, I love the cornerstone being pulled between Sig and Dev. It's like the lightsaber being pulled between
Mm-hmm.
Rey and Kylo
Kylo
Ren.
Ren.
Right in the in,
Yep.
in the Last Jedi, and so that's really fun, and watching their battle. Something we haven't mentioned before. We talk a big part of this story is Force builders, Sith breakers,
Yes.
and I really like how Sig uses the force building to put stuff in the way of Darth Dev, and he cuts through him with his lightsaber, and or he'll do stuff and run on them. Sig, because I like again that creativity that Sig uses, and so I really like that battle at the end on what's the name of Dev's ship? It's supposed to be reminiscent of what is it? What are the things in the Lego things that help you take
The
apart?
separator.
The
Bricks.
separator.
Yeah.
There we go. Thank you. You know, and it's shaped like the separator.
Mm-hmm. The brick
so,
separator. Yes. Yeah.
so
It's literally a brick separator with a Star Destroyer built around it.
yeah,
Um,
exactly. Yeah. So those are just some of the things, and then I'll leave the last part for last, the very last scene. But yeah, there's so much going on in this. There's so much.
mhm. Oh, there is, and of course, one of the things that I thought was really cool with this particular episode is we get back to the separator, and he's got the cornerstone. Dev has the cornerstone, and he has his brother. He has Sig with him, and they install it in their place on there, and then they use it to take uh, finesse,
Hmm.
Finessa, which was originally before everything got messed up, a green, luscious planet with water and everything. After the change, it was a destroyed, deserted, barren land. Um, but then they take the cornerstone and the weapon aboard the separator, and they reconstruct the planet and turn it into the planet that Sig remembers. Gives him what he wants, but at what cost? And of course, the Sig begins to see is seeing right through it, which leads to the ultimate confrontation between brother versus brother trying to bring everything back together. But a lot, again, a lot of great images in here. We got a lot of great uh, characters. Uh, we even get a Darth Jenner so in this one, um,
Yeah.
which is great. Um, which I thought nice nod to Rogue One. Um, and it's just a lot of fun. And of course, the Sith clan of Sith lords all turn on Dev because he's not destroying everything like they want him to, which was the original plan. So now you have the Sith on Sith violence,
Hmm.
which of course leads to the brother helping brother again. But I think the big surprise, like you said there at the end of the episode, once the Jedi arrive and save the day and everything's going on, the Cornerstone gets put back in place. Um, is the final guest to arrive? Um, I know you're itching to talk about it, so I'm going to let you share it, my friend. Tell
Well,
us who
yeah,
is our
yeah.
surprise guest.
Well, like you said, you did such a nice job of saying, yeah, and I was hoping you would about how you see Darth Ray, Darth Tico, Darth Kit Fisto. Shout out to Phil Lamar, voice actor. Of course, Darth Nubs is out there as well. Sorry, Daz, more explaining to do. Um, but they all turn on him, and then it does set the stage for this kind of post credit scene, which is you see Darth Ray and Darth Tico go meet with, we think, the Mandalorian, but it's the Landalorian, and of course, a baby Grogu who has this devious smile on his face, and it closes out. And of course, now having seen a year later pieces of the past, we know the
Mhm.
role that those two play. But I thought that was really cool. How, and of course, they're playing the Mandalorian music, and I thought that was really really fun. And of course, you know, anything to hear, Billy D. Williams reprise that role
Mhm.
at his age is just wonderful. Mark Hamill being in it and Billy D. Williams. I mean, that's incredible. All these years later, but there
Oh,
you go.
absolutely. And having the Landolorian show up at the end, and he is the bounty hunter, and they want him to, and he's more of not necessarily a bounty hunter, more of an assassin, because Ray and Tico are hiring him to get them Sig dead or alive,
That's right.
and then the credits run.
Mhm.
So a lot of fun in this series, a lot of great things happening. And it's definitely something that if you are not watching, you need to go back and watch because you will enjoy it. So let's anything else about part four before we go into final reactions, my friend?
No, no, let's do final reactions.
Let's do it. Final reactions. This was a fun, distracting series. I will say it was great to watch. I watched it last year when it was first released, and then with every intention for us to review it last year. Then uh, hurricane, not even a month after this was released, hurricane came through and everything went crazy, and we just never got around to it. But great episode, great series. Love the Easter eggs. I would love at one point, sometime in the future, to come back and revisit this and even the second part and just pull out all the Easter eggs we can to discuss. I think that would be fun to do. Um, but it's just a fun story and lots of fun, uh, a lot of things to do going forward. So yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, friend? What about your final reactions?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, I really find it really enjoyable to come back to it a year later. As last September it came out, we're here into October, just a year later, and going back through it. But I think it's also was even more fun because then you put pieces of the past, which we'll cover. We'll have some fun with that too. And seeing both of them together, four parts of this and then four parts of pieces of the past, it really makes this one come alive even more. And obviously, in that, you piggyback right off of the Landalorian at the end of this, and you go right into pieces of the past. So I enjoy Easter eggs. I enjoy all the homages. There's a lot of deep, Star Wars. Stuff at the core of this that they share. And so, if you're a young kid and this is your first introduction to Star Wars, it's a lot of fun, and at the same time you're getting a pretty good dose of underlying core issues and things that we learn throughout Star Wars. And so the animation's incredible, the color, again, getting Mark Hamill in there, getting Billy D. Williams in there. I do like Galen Matarazzo, right?
Yes.
Um, in there. And then I'm blocking on the guy's name who plays Dev. He plays he's in the Spider-Man movies too. I've
Tony
seen.
Revolori
Thank
played
you.
Death.
Thank you. And so yeah, and of course hearing Anthony Daniels, and all of that. So just great to just sit down and have fun. You can't go wrong with this. You you watch all four of them, and by the time you're done, you're smiling because it was so fun, so creative, and so beautifully done.
Very good. Very good. Very good. Of course, we would love to hear from you and your thoughts on Rebuild the Galaxy. Of course, you can do that a number of ways. Of course, you can hit us up on any of our socials. We're on Facebook and X at SW Reactions Pod. We are on Blue Sky, Instagram, Pinterest, TikTok, Threads, YouTube, and Tumblr, all at SW Reactions. You can email us at swreactions@gmail.com, or you can leave us a voicemail at speakpipe.com/Star Wars Reactions. Boom. And of course, David, if they want to talk Star Wars with you, how would somebody go about doing that?
Well, the two traditional ways. One is Twitter X. That's just at David underscore Modders.
Mhm.
You can also look me up on Instagram, David Modders. And then I guess the third way is through any of the show socials. And so if you send anything there, Aaron grabs it. He sends me stuff if stuff comes through.
Mhm.
And those are three different ways to do it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And of course, you can hit me up anytime, anywhere through any of these show socials. Or, of course, you can hit me up on my personal socials. The two best to hit me up on are either X or Instagram at SW Reactions. Right, no, that's the show. That's the show. Carabast.
There we
My
go.
personal one, my personal ones are TA Harris 121079. There we go. Well, my friend, I think that we're almost done.
All right. I'm nervous.
You should be. Um, so it is time for our Star Wars dad joke of the week. And of course, if you remember in our last episode, I told you I was debating between two jokes. Well, this week you get the second of the two. Last week's was a great one about what do you call a dog owned by a Mandalorian? It's a Boba Pet. This week, this week is another Mandalorian themed joke, which I perfect considering we had the Landalorian at the end of the episode. So why are you ready, David?
I
I just want
think
to make
so.
sure
I'm trying. I'm trying.
you're trying. Okay, I just want to make sure. Here we go. Why can't you beat the Mandalorian in a race?
Hmm. Why can't you beat the Mandalorian in a race?
Because he has the best car.
Oh my. I saw you laughing. I could see you. You were laughing as you're just waiting to say this. Oh my God. Do you hear the collective groan around the world as you
uh,
he had the best oh
the
my
best car.
gosh.
The only thing that would have made this joke better is if I'd have had one of those Hot Wheels. You know, they did the character Hot Wheels, and they
Yeah.
had the Mandalorian. If I'd have had one of those and had it come shooting across the screen, um, but
Oh my
no,
gosh.
yeah, it's the best car. The best car.
Oh, oh.
Perfect. Well, David, this has been a blast, my friend.
It's been a great time, man. Glad to record with you once again.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, we do thank you all for joining us here for another exciting episode of Star Wars Reactions. We appreciate y'all joining us each and every week. We love y'all. We're praying for y'all and appreciate all that you do to support us. We thank you for that. And of course, as I say each week, go out and do something kind, man. I mean, there's not enough kindness in this world to go around right now, and we need all of it we can get. So go out, do something kind for somebody, and just make the world a little brighter just by being kind and being yourself. So remember, this is your place for elegant discussion for more civilized age.
This podcast is not endorsed by the Walt Disney Company or by Lucasfilm Limited. It's intended for entertainment and informational purposes only. The official Star Wars website can be found at www.starwars.com. Star Wars. All names, sounds, and any other Star Wars related items are registered trademarks and or copyrights of Disney and the respective trademark and copyright holders. All original content of this podcast is the intellectual property of Star Wars Reactions unless otherwise indicated. Star Wars Reactions. Elegant discussion for a more civilized age.